Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to get a little update on Chud the Builder. He is trying to get Adin Ross to bail him out, to cover his bail. And at the very end of the videos I'm going to show you, he's going to actually respond. So, anyway, I think it takes a lot of balls to ask somebody to cover your $1.25 million bail. But when does it stop these folks for real? And he absolutely hates being behind bars. Well, all I got to say is, Chud, you shouldn't be out in the streets breaking the law if you don't want to be in jail. And even in Tennessee law, because I was reading some of the articles, you can't antagonize a situation and then claim self defense. You can't do that. You can't provoke something and then when people respond to you, you want to jump up and scream self defense. No, if you antagonize that entire situation, you can't claim self defense. You can't. And that's what he's been doing for years out on these streets, using the N word, trying to antagonize a situation. Well, you can't turn around and scream self defense. That's not self defense. Nothing about that was self defense. And of course, you got all the people trying to help him and send him all the give, send, go and say freedom of speech. I said, yeah, when white people say something derogatory about us, it's always freedom of speech. But when we defend ourselves and we stand up for ourselves and drag you in the process, oh, that's hate speech. See, y'all been playing that game for a long, long time. You've been playing that game. But no, Chud should not get an easy way out. And I'm glad the court said they're not accepting that money. So y'all can raise all the funds you want. The prosecution, they're trying to shut that down where he has access to that money to try to get out of jail. Right now, he can't. And you'll hear him talk about that in the message that he left Adin Ross. Adin went public and put his message on social media. And you're going to hear him say he does not have access to the money. That's why he needs someone to bail him out so that he can gain access to the funds that were raised. And he can't do that from jail. So, oh no, we shall see. But right now, I don't think he has too many options on how he can get out of jail right now. Me, I want him to stay in there and rot. That's what I want. I want him to stay in there and rot. Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And if you haven't seen it, I just posted in the community tab the upcoming sale, the entire store on Etsy, Shopify, and TikTok will be 40% off for the entire weekend, starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which is Memorial Day, but I don't celebrate any of those holidays. And the sale will end on the 26th at 11:59 p.m. So it starts on the 22nd and end on the 26th. All right, y'all. Let me share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
His fault. Chud, if you can get me out and help with the bond, I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my gifts and go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here so that I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. If you can help me out post bail, I will fight for free. We'll do whatever it is you want to do, bro. I need somebody with big money who can throw down, who can support me.
For Chud, if he's waiting on Adin Ross to bail him out, he's going to be in jail for a very long time. I don't know Adin Ross like that, but he can look at it like a business opportunity. He might do it, bro, if he feel like he could get more exposure and get more money. You never know. You never know, bro. I don't put
Adin Ross, if you fuck with the black community, you'll bail him out and you'll make him fight for free. And you'll make him fight the biggest, the baddest, the blackest, and the one that's gonna chimp out the most? I don't know. Send him a motherfucking gorilla. Send him Harambe, the great equalizer. Adin Ross, you should definitely do.
Goofy grifter the builder begs Adin Ross to pay his $1.2 million bail after a reported jail voice message surfaced where he's talking about he gonna fight for free on brand risk. Partner, you can fight for free in jail. Square up. And then the judge say you couldn't even use no donated money. Ain't Adin Ross gonna be donating that money to you? Like, stop it. Goofy.
A phone call from Chud the Builder has supposedly been leaked. He called Adin Ross. I don't know how genuine this phone call is. It sounds pretty real, to be honest with you, but you know how the world is now. So if we find out later that this isn't a real phone call, then we'll own up to that. But for right now, here it is.
It's Dalton. Chud, if you can get me out, help with the bond, I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my gifts and go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here so that I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. If you can help me out to post bail, I will fight for free. We'll do whatever it is you want to do, bro. I need somebody with big money who can throw down, who can support me.
So yeah, he's broke as shit.
Y'all, bad news. They're saying Chud the Builder's having a tough time in jail. Saying he's having a hard time getting the funds to pay his bail. And they're saying that Chud the Builder reached out to Adin Ross and begged Adin Ross to pay his bail. And he said in return, Chud the Builder said he will fight on Adin Ross's boxing promotion for free. Man, that's sad. And also, I see a lot of Chud the Builder fans out here treating Chud the Builder like he's some martyr for freedom of speech. I don't remember him going to jail because of, what he said, but they are treating him like he's a martyr and saying that people should have the right for freedom of speech. I don't understand what this speech of this freedom looks like, because it's not like Chud the Builder was using his freedom of speech to talk about what's going on in society, talk about $5 a gallon gas. He wasn't talking about a lot of Americans can't afford to buy homes. A lot of Americans can't afford to buy groceries. He ain't talking about none of that. It sounds like the only thing that freedom of speech really involves is the right to call black people the N-word to their face. Is that the freedom of speech that so many people are seeking? Is to go up to black people and call them the N-word?
Listen, Adin, it's Dalton. Chud, if you can get me out, help with the bond, I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my gifts and go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here so that I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. If you can help me out to post bail, I will fight for free. We'll do whatever it is you want to do, bro. I need somebody with big money who can throw down, who can support me.
there's a rumor that Adin Ross might be belling out Chud the Builder, and there's a leak audio. Don't know where it originated from because people troll and, create AI audio. So there's no telling what's real. Like, people post stuff on their social media too and delete it immediately because they're trolling. But I don't see it happening, honestly, at all, because it's not going to make sense. Chud the Builder is heard on the audio saying he needs someone with big money to put up the money so he can come out and verify his gifts and go funds, his crypto, and that he even offered to fight on brand risk for free. But the thing is, I don't think Adin Ross will recoup any of that money at all. Like, it's a lot of money. He don't even pay a portion of that to any person that fought on brand risk. And if he does, is that Chud is going to pay him back a portion of the money back and also fight for free on brand risk. I know there's a lot of people that would love to see Chud the Builder get knocked out, and I agree. I would like to see it, but it does not make sense. And Adin Ross, if he's a smart man, he has to understand it's a liability. People are even going to come at him, be like, "Oh, why you bailed him out?" And for the ignorant motherfuckers and shit saying, "Oh, that's an attack on freedom of speech," what Chud was doing. Listen, look up his charges. Had nothing to do with his freedom of speech. And his freedom of speech, our freedom of speech, is to combat the government. It does not has nothing to do with person to person. You have no freedom of consequences in this world. You don't got to go out and call somebody, a racial slur. You can just call a guy an asshole. And depending on what kind of day he's having, you're going to get a reaction that you wanted. That's just how the world works. So all the ignorant people saying, "Oh, freedom of speech, we can say da. You can say whatever you want. But like I said, you don't have freedom of consequence. If someone's having a bad day, if somebody's not standing for it, guess what? There's going to be repercussions. But you put yourself in that situation in the first place. But I think it's too much of a liability for Adin Ross to put up the money for this guy, especially considering his reputation. With that being said, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Should Adin Ross put up the money? Should Chud fight on brand risk? Is that something you guys will look forward to watching? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like this video, comment, repost, share, and as always, follow me.
Thanks for tuning into the Puffy Lion Dog. Here we believe that transparency and honesty aren't just values, they're a promise to you. As we wrap up, remember our goal is to keep the conversation real, authentic, and open. If you got thoughts, feedback, or just want to share your truth, reach out. Until next time, stay genuine, stay curious, and keep the dialogue honest.
Chud must be having a tough time in jail because he is begging Adin Ross to pay his bail and get him out. Said he would even fight for free.
Listen, Adin, Miss Dalton, Chud, if you can get me out, help with the bond. I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my gifts in Go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here so that I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. If you can help me out to post bail, I will fight for free. We'll do whatever it is you want to do, bro. I need somebody with big money who can throw down, who can support me.
My thing is, you can fight for free in jail.
Chud. I see it, Ligo. Watch what? Can you pay his bail? Imagine the clips. Dude, fuck no. Absolutely fucking not. What the hell?
This is Adin right here. And you heard what he said. He said, F no, he ain't paying that bail. I think it takes a lot of balls to ask someone from social media to pay your bail. He has nothing to gain by paying Chud the Builder's bail. I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't pay it either. He has a boxing channel. He's all into boxing. And that's what Adin does. That's why Chud said, "Oh, I'll fight for free," because he does a bunch of boxing matches that he sets up and everything, so that he promotes. I wouldn't even care if he fought for free. Why would you put your money up for some loser like Chud the Builder? I don't know anybody that would do it, but Iron Will, thank you so much for the super chat. Peace, sister. I even seen a Chud advocate start a campaign claiming that Black people should support because he's fighting for freedom of speech, similar to what Black people did during the civil rights. You can't make this up. First of all, civil rights don't have nothing to do with Chud running around and saying the N word. Number two, why would we fight for Chud's freedom of speech and he's running around using derogatory slurs on us? That would be ridiculous for us to speak up on his behalf. You know what it is? They are so used to us forgiving and having their back no matter how nasty and evil they are. And nothing is owed to Chud from any of us. Nothing. If he really want to do something significant, Chud, when you get that money out, donate every dime of your sin, go to the Black community. Donate every dime. I don't care if you just have to stand on the streets and give money to every Black person that walked past you. That's what you can do. Anything short of that, you can shove it. Nothing is owed to you. Nothing. And to Chud supporters, we owe Chud the Builder absolutely nothing. He's not entitled to our support. He's not entitled to any forgiveness. He is entitled to absolutely nothing. So I don't care about no freedom of speech and you're trying to equate what he did to civil rights. Y'all can go shove it. Nobody's fallen for that. Not one living soul. But Iron Will, thank you so much for your support from my channel. I deeply appreciate it. Well, I wish I would forgive some dude that intentionally went on the streets and used racial slurs and called our people chimps and stuff. I ain't got to forgive that mess. Are you for real? I ain't got to forgive nothing. You know, why are we always the ones expected to forgive? No. The only one that should be looking for or trying to apologize is Chud. And as you can see, he's just interested in getting out. He ain't even saying, you know what, I'm going to make this right. I want to get out. I want to make this right. I got to right my wrong for what I did. Nope. Oh, I need to get out to get my money. I need to get, because I got to do verification. He's not doing nothing but thinking about himself. All right. Even if he wanted to make amends right now, I would never accept it, because he's only doing it because of his arrest and being incarcerated. Trust me, that's more for him than us. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here, and be on the lookout for my lives for tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Shalom, family.